The London Flex Brand Index, the first one ever, has just landed, and you can download the full report. This is just going to give you some quick overviews and some golden nuggets into some of the key findings, but delve into the report to know more. Without further ado, so this gives you an overview of our findings. There were 60 brands that we've analysed in 686 locations. I'm going to come back to this slide, but first I thought just giving you that overview into branding and what we find in the sector. So in some markets, we do find that one brand dominates. People often say, just Google it, pass me a Kleenex, referring to a brand in everyday life. We don't say, find me a car booking app or a hook and loop material fastener. To describe the sector, we refer to a brand. And that's what's really interesting. And these markets, we find that there's high market awareness and high market share. Another one that's really interesting is when there's two brands that dominate in a market where there's high brand awareness and also high market share. We see this in the carbonate soft drinks market, with 70% of the market share between Coca-Cola and Pepsi. It's interesting with the flex office sector, of course, two brands are synonymous with the sector, but what's really interesting, they have high brand awareness, but they have low market share really. In London, we found that they've got 24% of the market when we've analysed it. What happens though in property is you need both portfolio and you also need a strong brand as well. And that's one of the key findings that we do find in our research and the conclusion. Within the market, it's made up of the global brands there that we recognise we work in Regis, and they do have strong brands. Then we've got this middle sort of tier 2 that we've really focused our study on. There is 58 brands here. And they're the ones in the tier 1 and 2 that we focused on with the report. Tier 3, we've got some fabulous brands, but they've been excluded with 3 or less locations, say the Fisheries there, Mission Works. They have strong brands and they're dominant in a local market. But this comes back to my conclusion, you do need both the portfolio and the brand awareness in this market. The market's been quite hard to monitor because of constant market movements. We've had WeWork changing with their portfolio. Nano moved up from tier 3 to tier 2 quite significantly, quite recent. Second Home also moved from tier sort of 2 to 3, going from 4 locations to 2 locations in London. So constant market movements, we've been analysing the market there. These are some of the top lines, really looking at number of locations and the leaders, and then by square foot when we look at their portfolio size. Read the report for more details and more at your leisure, but some of the other things that we found was customer confusion. Terminology used is so confusing in the sector, the flexible office sector. And this is really where we've had to create our methodology, we've had to create categories as well. There's been so much talk about flight to quality. Yes, we do find with the premium providers, they're indexing higher on amenity scores that we've analysed. But we do find, because we analysed all the London boroughs and central and out to near the M25 areas as well, we see a flight to functionality as well. Mainyard Studios, Workspace, Wimbledon Tech, also really showing that they are strong, they know what their customer wants and really delivering on that. The other interesting finding that we pulled out in the conclusion, you can read more, is about brandlords. And we've got Mayo there with Landsec, we've got Hubble with Romulus just showing with their logos. But we've really seen these providers and what we're calling brandlords just growing in the last 6 years and really establishing themselves in the market, predominantly in the West End and the city. So this is the big change that we're really finding, that landlords are creating their own brands in the market. We've then analysed, and this is sort of the final conclusion of the report, where we've looked at rankings to revelations. I'm looking here again at our brand index scoring that's made up of the 5 categories here and number of locations, and we can see interesting findings in the market. Dive in the report to learn more and analyse what's going on. For all you action takers in the room, there's a QR code, or down below there's a link too. So please do download. And my final terms, well, the legal terms that we always have to put at the end is really, this report and video is for informational purposes. If you do want personal advice and actually want to make investment decisions, do get in contact with us or anybody else. But solely based on this report, do not be making any big or any big sort of decisions based on solely on this video and the report as well. But delighted to hear from you, so do get in touch, and many thanks.